What is going on, Pacer Nation? Welcome back to another episode of Bring the Juice Pacers. Guys, I know I haven't really gotten much of a recap up for you over the last several games, mainly throughout the majority of this series, but finally was able to watch the game, be able to enjoy it, and actually be able to sit down afterwards and it not be 10, 11:30 at night and have to do it. So it's kind of one of those situations now. I'm much more comfortable with it. But this was a phenomenal game by the Pacers. Honestly, I couldn't even tell you the amount of records that they probably broke. I think they were talking about it being potentially the largest. I think it has something to do with like the largest win in franchise history in a playoff game. I'm not entirely sure, but I mean, it is phenomenal to have seen what the Pacers did today. Ironically enough, again, have not lost a game in Gainbridge Fieldhouse in over 55 days. So I think it's I think they said over the last 12 games or something they haven't lost or something like that. Not entirely sure, but yeah, they're going insane right now, man. And in game 4, the Pacers dictated the game from the get-go. Mainly, I mean, we saw at the end of the first quarter, Pacers were up by 20 to start the first quarter. So, I mean, the Pacers just absolutely mollywopped the New York Knicks tonight. I mean, the intensity of the Pacers was the one thing that separated everything. We saw from a defensive perspective, the Indiana Pacers just absolutely would not let the Knicks breathe. And for a team like the New York Knicks, who are, again, struggling right now with the having to play full court the entirety of all these games, is starting to catch up to them a little bit. Jalen Brunson has had a couple injuries that has definitely not had him at 100%. Even Josh Hart, it's not the fact that he's injured. He is just in a situation right now where I think he just is off. He's off target right now because of just surely how much time he has spent on the court. And DiVincenzo also off today. We're going to talk about that here in a minute, guys. But ultimately, again, just the pace at which this team played. I mean, the Pacers just ran the Knicks out the gym right from the get-go. I mean, there was a clear difference in who was ready to play this game and who wasn't. I wouldn't even say it had more to do with just being ready. I just think the Knicks, while they're banged up, are also having to play all these minutes where they're having to, play full court press and then having to worry about everything. I think they're just not quite equipped for it right now. When you're missing some of your best guys and even when Jalen Brunson's not at 100% right now, it can be tough for them right now because they're relying on their starters to be the people that are going to lead this team to the promised land and not rely on their bench as frequently throughout this series as the way they should. And again, there's going to be Knicks fans, guys. They're going to go out there and they're going to say that if it wasn't for the fact that we were missing this guy and we were missing this guy and this guy was hurt and all this and this and this and this, again, it's excuses, right? The Indiana Pacers are playing at the same level that they are. Halliburton, our best player, has been dealing with a back injury and a lower leg injury through the series as well, and that has not slowed him down at all. And the ultimate reason why the Pacers are winning these games is because, again, the Pacers, they don't have to rely on 3 guys to score 25 points a game in order for them to actually be able to win the game. They don't have to rely on that. And when they're guys, they can afford to spread it out. And they have guys off the bench that can come on the court and can actually provide you solid minutes that actually provides some rest for their starters, which the Knicks have just not been able to do. So we're going to go ahead and hop into this, guys. Let's go ahead and hop into the full stats for today. Pacers shooting 57% from the floor today. The Knicks with 34%. Again, the Pacers, they just shot so much better than the New York Knicks today, which is ironic that that's how it was, because you had a situation where when it came to the three-pointers, the Knicks actually shot 6 more threes today than the Pacers did, but the Pacers made double the amount of three-pointers as the Knicks did. So the Knicks shot 19% from three, while the Pacers shot 45%. So, I mean, again, in totality, shows you once again, we had the better shooting today. And free throw percentage, even the Knicks were not good at the free throw percentage today. So, I mean, that just goes to show you, I really do believe it is because the New York Knicks, they were tired in this game. Honestly, they were tired from the get-go. And we're going to talk about their players' stats here in a moment. But it was just at the fact that the Pacers had more energy, and they were able to execute on their shots a little better than the Knicks were in the beginning. And then ultimately, there was just nothing that the Knicks could do to keep up. They just did not shoot the ball well today. Pacers rebounded the ball better than the Knicks did today. Almost double the amount of assists. Again, 31 assists to 18. Pacers had 9 steals and 7 blocks. Fantastic work on the inside. Practically same amount of points off turnovers, same amount of turnovers. But again, the Pacers with their fast break points had 22 today, 5 only for the Knicks. 60 points in the paint for the Pacers, so half their points coming from within the paint. And for the Knicks, it was only 40. The Pacers had 25 fouls today. 25 fouls. That was more than double the Knicks. Okay, so I don't want to hear anyone say anything about the fouls or nothing being any way. The Pacers beat the Knicks by 30, by 32, and had double the fouls, more than double the fouls, which is absolutely insane. I mean, it is truly remarkable what they were able to do with this game. Now, let's go ahead, hop into the box score here real quick. Let's look at the New York Knicks starters. Jalen Brunson, their leading point guard, 18 points on the game, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals. Only played in 31 minutes. Again, when the Pacers were winning by 30 plus going into the third quarter. Obviously, you were not going to see Jalen Brunson stay out there. The Knicks pretty much conceded that the game was over at that point. And Brunson, of course, shooting only 6 of 17 from the floor, 0 for 5 from 3. So this guy, and even 6 of 9 from free throw range, that is uncharacteristic of him to have that sort of situation happen. So he was just not at his best today. He was just not. DiVincenzo, 7 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and a steal and a block. Shot 3 for 13 from the floor, 1 of 6 from 3. Again, no shooting execution whatsoever from DiVincenzo. He had the most minutes of any one of the Knicks starters today. Achua, 8 points, 6 rebounds. Actually played 24 minutes, shot 4 of 7 from the floor. Hartenstein only played 22 minutes today, only had 4 points, 5 rebounds. So he was a non-existent guy out there. And Hart, who I think in the first 2 games never came off the court. And then in the third game, he came off for, I think, about 7 or 8 minutes at most. Actually played the second fewest minutes of the starters. 24 minutes, actually. Only had 2 points. 1 of 6 from the floor. You could tell from the very beginning of this game that Josh Hart was not in rhythm, not in sync, and just was not able to keep up. And pretty much after the beginning of the second half, when the Pacers kept increasing their lead, they took Josh Hart off the court. I mean, he was a non-factor for the entirety of this game, really. The best player, the 2 best players for the Knicks came off their bench today. Alex Burks actually had 20 points today, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, shot 5 of 11 from the floor, but was able to get to the free throw line, I think, 5 different times. Yeah, he was 8 of 10 from the free throw line today. So that's where he got almost half his points today, was being able to get to the free throw line. McBride as well was tied with DiVincenzo for the most minutes today, and he had 32 minutes. He had 16 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal, and only shot 37% from the field. So again, nobody from the Knicks really making any kind of impact. Everyone struggled shooting the ball in this game. And then when you look at the Pacers side of things, I mean, again, the Pacers, from an offensive perspective, no starting 5 player for the Pacers today played more than 30 minutes. Nobody, which is such a great blessing for the Pacers, because they were able to pull their starters out in that fourth quarter, and even most of them late in the third quarter. So the Pacers starters truly only played for about 2, maybe 2.5 quarters for the most part. So again, it was great that the Pacers were able to have that kind of pace along with their bench guys. Let's look at their starting guys here. Tyrese Halliburton, another great game from him. 20 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, shot just over 50% from the floor, 4 of 10 from 3. Had the most minutes of any starter tonight. Actually had the most minutes in total for anyone there. So a great game again by Halliburton, who is dealing with so many types of injuries, but has remained mentally strong and is just getting it together, which I truly admire. Nembhard, 9 points, 1 rebound, 5 assists, 21 minutes, shot really well from the floor. Didn't really do a whole lot from shooting and offensive wise, but again, great defense from him as well today. Miles Turner, 13 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, 3 blocks, and made every single one of his field goals today. So again, offensive wise, you didn't need a ton from Miles Turner, but he was extremely efficient in how he was handling his business. Aaron Naismith, what a performance by this guy. Not even offensive wise, but I want to give you guys just an understanding of what has happened since Carlisle decided that Aaron Naismith was going to be the guy that's guarding Jalen Brunson, okay? In the series, when Naismith was the primary defender, Jalen Brunson is 9 of 27 from the floor. 9 of 27. So that's shooting 33% from the floor when Naismith is the one guarding him directly, which is so impressive because, again, that's why you have Naismith right now. Naismith doesn't have to be the offensive guru. He's got to be that guy, your 6'6" small forward that goes out there and plays pressure defense, stick up on him, not let him breathe. And it has been so difficult for Jalen Brunson over these last 2 games to get anything going because Naismith is just on top of him the whole time. So Naismith, great job to you defensively, my guy. You were a huge impact in this game. Only 8 points, but was the leading rebounder with 12 rebounds and an assist. Also had a block as well, shot 50% from the floor. Pascal Siakam, again, nothing spectacular from Pascal Siakam, but it was enough. It kept him going. 14 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, shot 80% from the floor. That's a really great stat, especially since he only played 22 minutes. He didn't even play 2 full quarters of basketball in this game. And then when you get to the bench for the Indiana Pacers, again, TJ McConnell, plus 27 for the day, 15 points, 4 rebounds, 10 assists from TJ McConnell, 2 steals, played in 21 minutes and shot 50% from the floor and made both his 3-pointers today. Guys, TJ McConnell has just been, he's been a godsend. I mean, he has been just an absolute pleasure to watch from that bench unit. That six man, this dude does it. I mean, he is, they said it on the broadcast, he creates chaos. And he does. He creates chaos for these other teams. When he's dialed in, he is such a nuisance to deal with because he can play press. He can dribble the basketball insanely well, knows where everyone is, knows how to create a shot inside the arc. I mean, this guy just does everything for you. I mean, I can't really put into words what he has meant for the Pacers through these last few weeks of basketball, honestly. Obi Toppin, another great game. 14 points in 18 minutes, 1 rebound, 2 assists, a steal and a block, shot over 50% from the floor. Fantastic game from Obi Toppin once again. And ironically enough, a couple more guys here, a bunch more players. You actually had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bench players play over 10 minutes today, which was, again, huge to helping the starters get that rest. That's huge for the Pacers. Let's keep going down the list here. Jalen Smith, 10 minutes today, 7 points, 3 rebounds, assist, a steal, and a block, all within 10 minutes. Made all of his shots. Walker actually came in late in the game, had a couple buckets. Doug McDermott didn't have a bucket, really didn't do a whole lot when he was in, but did have an assist. Isaiah Jackson, another big one that came in for the Pacers, 19 minutes, had 10 points, 6 rebounds, 2 steals, shot 50% from the floor, so very good there from Jackson. Ben Shepherd, 19 minutes as well, didn't really get a whole lot going, made a couple buckets here and there, but again, the Pacers had 6 guys that scored in double digits today, and you had 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 players score in today's game. So, I mean, the Pacers, they obviously sent a message to the New York Knicks that it didn't matter what was happening, that they were not going to let up. And the Indiana Pacers are back in this series, guys. 2-2, going back to New York. New York clearly on the back burner right now. They are struggling right now with their injuries. They're struggling with the fatigue. And right now, the Pacers are sticking right with them. And there is just as much chance as anyone to win this series now. So this is going to be a fun one, guys. Let me know your thoughts on this game after this Pacers blowout win over the New York Knicks, tying the series at 2-2. But thank you guys so much for all the support. And as always, guys, go Pacers.